Our panel of break-fix petrolheads are back for another rousing "What should I buy?" debate. Using unique shopping criteria, they are challenged to find our first-time collector the best vehicle that will make their friends go, "Where do you get that?" or "What the hell is wrong with you?" at the next Cars and Coffee.
At GTM, we're not just about the cars. We've also got all sorts of other events we've organized over the years, including our Fantasy Football League. And in this episode, you get an inside view into our 6th annual draft night and happy hour, where we talk about football and cars. Here we answer the hard-hitting questions like, if you were an NFL rookie, what car would you buy? And who has the best car in the NFL? Or the top 15 sickest whips driven by NFL players and more. So sit back and enjoy the shenanigans.
And as always, I'm your host, Brad.
And I'm Eric.
So let's roll.
Dun, 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 dun. You know, guys, this is our 6th annual Fantasy Football League for GTM. That's pretty good. It's a very long-standing event, so pretty
That's a lot. That's more than I expected.
Yeah. Oh, look at
I
you.
think the only GTM event that's longer is the Virtual Racing League.
That's true. That is
Patriots.
true.
Oh, my God.
Didn't realize we had to put jerseys on, so I figured I'd grab one.
Heck yeah, man.
We're part of the teams.
Got suit up.
Nothing wrong with Patriots. I live in D.C., but I grew up in just outside of Boston, so.
Yeah.
So I was a fan when they sucked. So just to be clear.
Oh, yeah, all right. That's fine. I'm a Giant.
I mean, it is a very important distinction.
It is 100%. I have a few other
Tom,
Patriots fans who are the same way. Like we were there, they were miserable.
Tom, what happened to your sleeves?
It's a
Is
wife
that-
beater.
I was
They
like,
were,
is that
they were
like,
talking back.
are you like Team Jedi over there? I mean, what's
Yeah,
going
you
on?
know.
You need to rock the Millennial Falcon back there.
That's not what a white beater looks like on me.
Well, this one's a little bit thicker on the sides. but
That's a 5XL white beater on you.
Yeah, I've never seen one that has like 4-inch like sleeves like that. Good
It's a
Lord.
sleeveless blouse is what he's wearing.
Is that like the pumpy shirt from Seinfeld?
Yes, it's the pirate shirt.
So every year we draft, Sam has been at a truck stop, in a bathroom. I mean, he's been in the weirdest places. So I guess he's drafting from pit race this year.
well, he's driving right now, I want to say.
I thought he was already up there.
Oh, did he already make it there? I thought he was on the way.
Yeah.
Should be up there already. Well, maybe not, because it is only Wednesday.
He did just message me, so he might have just gotten there.
Yeah, I thought today was test day though, or maybe that's tomorrow.
I think the best draft we had was when Rob paid somebody.
Oh my God, that was
I'm gonna do
awesome.
it.
I didn't pay him, but he sucked. He did
Yeah,
a
he
whole
was terrible. I hope you got your money back for that.
Exactly.
You ended up in the toilet bowl, I think, with that team.
That was pretty funny. It's like, I got my substitute drafter. Like, okay.
You'd have been better off with auto draft.
Still not as bad. Funny story. This is the league I was in previous to this one with Scott, who's on Slack. So one year I decided for fun, I drafted every player with the last name Johnson. and you could fill out the whole roster, every position. And so I had all Johnsons and a Schwartz. It was awesome.
I remember that. Every time you drafted, I was like, what are you doing?
Sam says auto draft for me.
Oh, man.
That's no fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I missed it last year, and it was auto draft. But
You know what? I'm actually trying auto draft this year to see if I end up with a better team.
At least on paper. Your team performs well, but on paper it's miserable.
100%. But it can't be worse. It can't be any worse than my team last year. So
I had auto draft last year, and I ended up with Saquon. You see what happened there.
hey, safe, man.
You got hurt.
Well, we got 8 o'clock on the dot is what I see on my clock. Let's see.
It should be starting.
Yeah, 7 seconds.
7 seconds. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Man, where's everybody else?
Bum, bum, bum.
Where's Bowser? Where's Harry?
Welcome to the best day of the year, draft day.
What?
Nice.
Dude, it talks to you now?
Yeah, I leave mine on mute because it always does that.
Where? How do I?
yeah, mine didn't talk to me.
Yeah, we need BJ on here. I haven't seen him in a while.
He just yelled at me through text message.
Tell him to get on. Send him a link.
He's got the link. He just needs to go on there and find it. And I'm not helping him
Oh,
because
come
he's acting like a boomer.
Draws one
Boomers.
of them skater cars.
Hey, I'm
Oh, that was quick. I didn't realize I was actually
gotta
on the
take
clock.
this one, yeah. You got to take him.
I got 3rd round pick. That's not horrendous.
Yeah, 3rd is better than. I'm 9th is weird.
I'm just gonna let it roll. I'm excited to see what the computer picks for me. this year because my ability to pick is terrible. So, hey.
The one league I started with Sam, BJ, and like a bunch of our friends, anybody that auto drafted, we got to go in and pick their first pick. We completely inverted the standing,
wow.
the best player. My buddy got Dudley Gucci, number 1 overall.
Nice.
I don't know what that means.
He's like, wasn't even on a team. He was a complete free agent, but we fucking told him if he didn't show up for the draft, he's screwed.
Yeah, it'd be like drafting Ocho Cinco right now, dude. It's not a good plan.
Or Megatron.
Draft the whole team of people you pray will come back to play.
Yeah,
exactly. Like Andrew Luck and Antonio Brown, and just keep going down it.
The question is, how many of these guys are going to be on the fence? Or is the season even going to happen? I mean, it's all a gamble from now till February, I suppose.
I mean, with the NBA choosing not to play tonight and baseball choosing not to play, like that could influence things too. Who are we waiting on now? Nobody. Mahomes.
Nice.
First QB off the board.
My homie.
He did pretty well for me last year.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's not a bad quarterback.
Oh, man. Who changed their name? Who's picked 10? That's got to be Harry because he always does some names like that.
Yeah.
Brian is up right now, pick number 7.
Looks like it's going to be auto pick.
Sam just got done driving. He's setting up shop currently.
Nice.
Tell him to zoom in.
Is Jacobs the new running back? No, that's the same guy from last year. I see the LV and it threw me off. I forgot Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Jacobs is good. He's good.
Yeah, I completely forgot, though. The LV threw me off.
He's okay. They brought in like everybody who can sort of catch a pass to compete with him on the pass catching side.
Right.
But that doesn't stop like Derrick Henry from being a beast. So why would it stop somebody else?
I just can't get over Brad's helmet that he's wearing. That is just epic.
You should see his other helmet.
You want to?
No!
Gross.
It's this kind of chat.
Oh, yeah.
Bow, chicka, bow, meow.
We have now turned into chat roulette.
Oh!
This isn't going on our Patreon anymore. It's going on our OnlyFans.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
There's so much time between my picks. I got a shitty pick this year.
I should have
Between your picks, I got tons between mine.
So one of the ridiculous dynasty leagues I'm in is 48 teams,
Oh,
and it's a dual copy league. So there's 2 of everybody,
Oh,
and there are 42 rounds of the draft because it's also Devy, which means you can draft college players that sit on a taxi squad until they get to the NFL. And so we started the draft like 3 weeks ago, I think. We're on like round 30. We still have like 12 rounds to go.
oh my God.
And we're starting to get into the I don't know who these people are sort of category. Like I don't know these names anymore.
Wow.
And you can trade future draft picks, but it's funny because like next year's first rounders are first rounders that didn't happen to already be on someone's college squad, right? So you need to have like people who explode on college scene.
I was
like,
going to say,
nowhere.
Rob, you're so deep in the draft, you're pulling from college juniors, man. That's
It is-
pretty
oh,
rough.
there's plenty of college freshmen that have already been picked.
Oh, my
That
God.
are like they were like
Oh.
5-star recruits out of high school that are expected to leave after sophomore year for the NFL. I mean, like when Saquon came out, like when he was a freshman at Penn State, they knew he was going to be a monster. I mean,
Yeah.
It wasn't like, you could have drafted him potentially 3 years before he came out without any problems.
I tell you what, though, this would have been a great year to do the auction draft because all of these guys on auto, we could have totally hosed them.
Yep.
Everybody's on auto.
I'm on
I'm
auto
not.
for the fun of it.
Pick 16 isn't, so I'm not. Once the next 2, and In the Woods obviously
No,
isn't.
I'm not either.
Yeah, I was going to say, because auto automatically picks.
It just picks the top of the stack. That's all it does. So
Yep.
Or by position.
correct.
Depends, because you can actually set the auto draft.
Yes.
So, like, if you want just running back first round and then quarterback, it's pretty sweet. I kind of like how it works. They did that one year.
All
Then-
right.
Well, I'm already at the point where I don't know any of these players' names.
That's awesome.
My turn.
Outside of Pat McGroin,
Well,
I
do you know what the name of your team is going to be this year? Does anybody know?
Mine's always the same.
It wasn't like
Brad's just football team.
No.
Yeah,
The Washington football team.
We're
That's
the
what
Washington football team.
That's what I was getting at.
Why have I not seen the players I want?
We're the Barcelona Football Club.
It's not too different, I suppose, if you're comparing it to
Where
football.
did the players I want.
football.
Now, you know the thing I don't get? So one of the guys, my cousin who's up in New York that's on the draft, he does fantasy racing, I guess like fantasy NASCAR or something like that. Like
That's been big for a while.
I do not understand how that works.
Yeah, I've got some friends that do that. I guess you just kind of pick like your top 3 or something like that, and then depending on where they place.
Dude, I can't get over you look like Luke Skywalker. It's killing me. So I guess that's similar to the F1 thing that you do, Tom?
The one that Disco and I do is an actual like game that you
Strategy.
play.
Yeah, it's basically like doing pit stops and making them push or stay back.
And then choosing what type of tires to put on and all that type of stuff.
That sounds like not fun.
That's actually pretty interesting because, like, I'll qualify pretty bad, but I'll manage them for pit stops and tire use. And
So
usually end up winning.
Are you playing against Tom when you're doing that?
No, I wish we could play, but then again, I would destroy him.
You playing against randos, or is it?
Yeah, it's all random.
Okay.
But I've got like the actual PC version now too. So you go through like full seasons. You can like create teams, hire new drivers, improve the ability, improve the headquarters. You have to build and research parts, like all that type of stuff on that one. And that one's like pretty in depth.
Nice.
That one's called Race Manager, right?
Motorsport Manager.
Yeah, that one. I've got that one on my phone too, but I got pissed off at it, so I quit playing it. Well, like you can just go into like the next series, which I went for endurance. Well, you have to have 3 drivers per car, and then no matter how stacked you try to make your car to actually compete, it's just awful.
Yeah.
I was like,
So-
you know what? Never mind.
So let me ask you a question, kind of switching back to football for a minute. So do you think that if they don't play any live games, that our draft picks will count against like Madden? Like they were talking about doing Madden tournaments, right?
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I don't think so. I think it'll come down to which teams actually played the most games.
I doubt they do the Madden stuff because that stuff will just get out of hand. And then it'll just be like basically whoever's super amazing at playing it. So basically draft whoever Snoop Dogg is using to play.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting fall, that's for sure. I'm excited to see football come back. I hope it does.
I don't know if they don't do it like baseball, then they'll be fine. COVID cases left and right.
I heard some colleges went back today and basically were already shut down like day
North
one.
Carolina, within a week, they had
Yeah.
3 clusters break out. I was like, what do you expect? They're going to want to party and shit.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah. That's what you go to college for, right?
We are 5 rounds in. Not too bad. It's going pretty quick.
The auto draft helps.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
'cause the auto drive is like, brrr, like you gotta get, brrr, you're up again.
After I got my first 2, I went ahead and put it on auto draft. I don't know anybody else's names.
We got to do some trading this year. Like nobody does anything. Our waivers are open, so it's like whatever. But
Well, usually it's just because people want to get like, they're like, oh, I will give you Dudley Gucci for Metcalf and then somebody else. It's like, what? No, that's not even fair.
yeah.
I'll give you Doug Flutie for Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Disco, you got 10 seconds left for your pick.
Oh, shit.
Why'd you tell him?
Now
Does
I
it-
got my Lion player.
Ooh, should have
Does
seen
it-
that coming.
Nice. Does it give you the next available one if you don't pick anything?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, it just kind of defaults to if you had it on auto pick.
So many autos.
Like I said, I'm doing an experiment. So
So let's play a game here.
yeah, what's that?
You're an NFL player, a rookie. You just signed your big rookie contract. What's the first car you go out and buy? You've already taken care of mama. You already bought mama a mansion and all that other good stuff. What's the first car you go out and buy for yourself?
Go ahead, Eric. You have your hand up.
Oh, I'll go last because I already got one.
Where did I get
Okay.
drafted to?
You can say it. Nice call. Good call. That's true. What you choose in Green Bay is different than what you choose in
You
Jacksonville.
all
right?
got
Exactly.
drafted to the Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah.
That's a little bit of both. That's cold and hot.
I definitely get something that I could drive year round just because.
All right.
Just keep in mind there's a couple racetracks out that way.
Exactly.
I mean, Pittsburgh, Pit Race,
That's
Mid
why.
Ohio.
That's why I would consider probably like a Focus RS because of all the all-wheel drive.
You're a football player. Why are you doing
And
buying
you
a
just chose
Focus RS?
$36,000 car.
Have you
that rides
seen my
200?
stature?
What are
I
you
am
with
not a very tall guy. I don't
What are
need
you-
a giant car.
Are you a fourth string kicker? I mean, what the hell are you choosing here?
You know how much money I could pour into that thing? Come on.
Don was drafted as the water boy,
All
apparently.
right. I'm gonna chum the water for real. I'm a baller. Dark blue, white top, drop top, Bentley Continental GT. Boom, done. Baller
Okay,
status.
but you were drafted by Wisconsin or Green Bay, so now you're screwed because it's going to be salt and it's going to depreciate like crazy.
They make one of those in all-wheel drive, though.
All-wheel drive.
Boom.
they make-
It does all the things. I'm
Yep,
telling
they
you.
make
Yeah,
it
but it's
over.
just
Ford
going to rust
Bronco,
and
man.
turn to shit.
Ford Bronco.
Yeah, that's a good
Ooh,
call.
that's actually a good choice.
There you go. Anybody else? I know Tom would buy an FC and dump 150 grand into it.
Of course. I mean, I was gonna say probably like a Mercedes AMG GT.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Rob would buy a shit brown Volvo.
He would be like that Redskins player from a few years ago who had Mazda fix up his old protege or whatever the fuck it was.
Right. I remember that, yeah. I like the Bentley pick, actually. That's a pretty solid pick. I'd still, just some part of me, because of how I was raised, I'd have to pick like a 911 GT3 Touring. I wouldn't be able to pick anything else.
Okay.
Actually, a G-Wagon wouldn't be bad either.
That's baller.
No, the
status.
Six-wheeled one.
There's a lot of second cars I'd choose. My first one would have to be the 911 that I don't know if I'll ever own. So
Richter?
that's why. Check your vector, Victor.
Oh, he's on mute. He's just sitting there posing.
Richter, here's the question. If you were a football player, just got drafted, you're making the Buco bucks, first car you would buy?
GT.
Yeah. You heard Aaron, Ford GT.
Nice.
New one, not the old one.
Old one, a new one, or old one? Okay.
But you're not on the list, so you can't buy it.
Aaron's got a hookup.
He's got a clipboard. Is that enough?
Aaron's dad was high enough that I think we could probably get a connection into the list.
Nice.
If we ever make enough money.
Yeah, if we ever made enough.
I was thinking about that this morning. If I had $1 million that was just handed to me and I was told you have to spend this, would I buy $1 million house? Well, a $500,000 house so I had money left over for taxes?
No.
Or would I buy something else and a GT?
I'd buy a $200,000 house and an $800,000 pole barn.
and a $5,000 Focus. Yeah.
Boom.
He wants the SVT Focus 2003.
Oh, yeah.
Mint.
The one with the blue seats or the one with the red seats? Which is it?
The one with the blue seats. 170 horsepower.
And the Z-Tech.
Oh, yeah.
Z-Tech, yep.
I almost bought one of those, truth be told. It came down to that, a blue with a black and blue interior or a VR6 24 valve. And so you guys know which one I ended up with.
Just get an RS2000.
Well, I would buy a CL65 AMG Mercedes.
Black Series?
Yeah. Well, I don't think the CL comes in Black Series.
I thought it did.
Not the SL, the CL, the big
Okay.
S-Class
Yeah.
coupe, essentially.
Yep.
I've lusted after those cars ever since I first saw one.
You stopped lusting after them after your first maintenance bill.
But I'm baller. I don't care.
That's true.
No, NBA rookie deal is not baller enough for those bills.
The car is only like $175,000.
Yeah, you got to be a first round baller for that to work because a lot of that money is not guaranteed.
That's true.
A lot of that money is contingent and injury proven and all sorts of other crap.
I'm a dumb college kid. I don't know. I just signed up for that $1,500.
Yeah, but you have an agent way before then, so the agent's going to help you and be like, here's your actual take-home guaranteed.
Rob, you're taking all the fun out of this.
Okay.
You're the fun sucker.
That's why it's
Really?
that's why it's fantasy football. My
I thought
friend.
Don was the fun sucker with his Ford Focus.
that was
Hey, I wasn't even finished. I got cut off on it.
that was a terrible.
Alright, so he's
that
going
was
to
a terrible
dump
pick.
$5 million into a Ford Focus and still have a Ford Focus.
But it's got a turbo on it. All right.
Hey, but it's
He's
all-wheel
gonna
drive,
put
and I'm
two
probably
on it.
going to get drafted by the Lions, where I'm going to go 1-16 and then I'll be fine because it's free money at that point in time. You got to invest smartly after that.
Man, you're going to end up paying them. What are you talking about?
I like that if you're not on auto draft, it won't let you draft for the first 5 seconds. Like my timer starts and it's like all the buttons are like 5, 4.
Yeah,
They're like,
weird.
you're just going to kill my first 5 seconds? Like I don't get to use them?
Yeah, that's strange. Good job, ESPN.
Yeah.
It's not going to just be counting down to your pick. It might actually be the 5 seconds from the pick before.
No, because the other pick has already gone through when
Oh.
it shows up. And like the clock starts timing down. So it goes like 60, 59, 58. I can't hit a button. And it says 55 and the buttons show up and say draft. I'm like, okay.
Catch up, right? I think there's a lag. I think they try to put a buffer on purpose just to kind of have things not glitch up or something.
All right, Disco. Ford Focus. What's the real pick?
I already said it'd probably be like a G-Wagon.
Nice.
Why not? If I could do the 6-wheeled one, I'd probably do the 6-wheeled one just because who the hell has one?
That's
Nobody.
true.
But back to the $1 million thing. Yes, I would do a $200,000 house and an $800,000 pole barn.
Excellent. Excellent.
And because he spent all his money, the pole barn would be empty.
No.
So I wonder, who do you think's got the best car in the NFL?
Odell?
Odell Beckham?
Maybe
No.
Odell?
I feel like Cam Newton probably has some
York.
pretty
I feel like
crazy
Tom
shit.
Brady drives a Forester.
No, he drives an Audi. I saw
I thought it was a Range Rover. They probably got a couple.
He probably has one of those, yes.
It's all the same shit. He drives whatever suburban, white people drive.
No, he drives a black Audi. I forgot what it was. It was like a really big car. There was an accident that he was part of, so it was an Audi. So, but that's probably one of his cars, right?
Probably an A8L or something like that.
Probably, or an RS7 or something.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that showed up to the preseason shit in a Brinks truck? Because that guy.
Oh, who was
There's some
that?
rookie that
That is awesome. I hadn't heard that story. That's
Yeah, it was last year, I think, or the year before that.
So there was a guy, I think it was part of that year, who every day of the first week of camp, he showed up in a different car.
Yeah.
So one of the days was like he drove like one of the 3-wheelers, one of the
Dude,
what
I'm
do they
gonna
call
look
those?
it up now. I'm curious.
Like he showed up in a 3-wheeler, he showed up in a Ferrari, he showed up in a Lamborghini, he showed up in the Brinks thing because like he and a teammate just kept trying to one up each other with ridiculous rides.
There was
And
a
it was like,
baseball player that did that a couple years ago too.
Yeah, he did it too. There's like spikers, just weird stuff that would just like they'd pull up and just try to one up each other. And the Brinks truck was the big
Jalen
one.
Ramsey.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ramsey was one. Yep.
Okay. Well, DB.
Yeah, there's a. If you just Google it, NFL player in Brinks truck, he comes up right up.
I mean, that's.
But I think there's a list of other things he showed up with too that were all like ridiculous.
That's awesome.
But then you've got the hockey players. You've got Mike Green riding to practice on a Vespa on the GW Parkway.
That's crazy. He pulled up in a Brinks truck. Holy crap, dude! That's too much.
That's flexing.
I still remember when Ocho Cinco gave himself a birthday present of that like super modified F550 or whatever that was.
You know what he drives now, right?
Nah.
A minivan. I'm not kidding. He drives a minivan.
Ford Aerostar.
He was shown working out with T.O., his cousin. They were running like a 40 with Tariq Hill. And Ocho, with his, Crocs on, shows up in a minivan.
That's awesome.
Ridiculous, man. The Dodge Caravan, I think that's what it was.
Oh man, he's rolling. He's rolling hard.
He's pretty sad that they're
Ton of
killing the
country.
Caravan this year.
What if you Google? What if you Google for just like coolest car owned by NFL player and see what it pops up with?
I don't know what. Google it. Let's see what it says. Let's get it out there.
On it.
I figure David's doing it. All right, just look at it.
15 NFL players who drive the sickest cars.
All right, let's hear it. What do we got?
What year is this though? First, 'cause that article could easily be like 2017.
2020.
1976.
January 30th of 2020. Of course, my phone's got to load, so this is going to take a minute.
He's got that good Detroit dial-up cellular service.
Not Detroit anymore. I'm just outside of Lansing, so it's awful.
But he's got a Miracle Online instead.
Pretty much.
Still using CompuServe out there. Prodigy.
Oh,
He's going to print the list on his dot matrix. He's got his green bar paper queued up. He's ready to go.
it's still warming up. Give it a minute.
Oh man, that's great.
Okay, somebody else might have to find it because this thing is not loaded.
He's got to plug in the printer, but he's got to unplug the microwave.
So I guess he can't print that check to buy his 911 then.
Oh, shit. There you go.
Not this time.
Okay. Earl Thomas is number 16 with the McLaren 600 LT.
Nice.
So Brady has an R8.
Brady has an R8. Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon Marshall has a 911 GT3.
Which Brandon Marshall?
Just as Brandon.
That used to confuse the hell out of me.
The one that made a bet with Antonio Brown.
Again, which one? I don't know.
I don't either.
So no one's got like a Koenigsegg or a Spiker or something.
Well, he's
ridiculous?
going down the list. He's going down the list, Rob. Let him go.
That's right. I feel like the ending is going to be like a Maybach or something, or
Marshawn Lynch has a Aventador.
That makes sense.
These are all pretty big guys to fit in small cars, by the way.
So
Aaron Jones has
Marshawn's
a
below 6
Ferrari
feet.
458 Spider.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Aaron McFadden has a 72 Buick Centurion lifted on 32-inch rims. It's purple and has a green interior.
So
He's
he's
got
the
the Joker.
Joker from Batman.
Gotta love those interiors. Austin Hooper. Oh, someone already took a kicker. Is it the first kicker off the board?
Really?
Will Lutz? I think so.
Damn. I got Fatty Stafford. Oh, man.
It's not a bad pick, actually.
Go Detroit. What's up?
Boo.
I had to take one Patriot, so I got one of those.
Nice.
All right, gotta go back to this.
Baker Mayfield is way down there. Holy crap.
Who's throwing the ball to the Patriots?
Cam Newton.
Oh.
No question.
Saying that he's having a great camp.
Okay.
Joe Burrow, Jared Goff. Nice.
Aaron Rodgers has a Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG.
Nice.
And
Amari
he's also
Cooper-
got Danica Patrick.
Well, yeah.
Also nice.
He might have cooler cars than him, actually. So
It's true.
Amari Cooper has a BMW i8. He's number 11.
Boy.
All right.
Okay, now we're getting into the
they're
top
pretty rare,
10.
though.
All right,
Well, I
top
think
10.
This is also retired people, too, apparently.
I'll take it. Top 10
Okay.
NFL. What do they got?
Number 10 was Michael Strahan with a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Number 9 is Tom Brady with an Aston Martin DB11.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 8 is Frank Gore with a Rolls-Royce Phantom drop head.
Nice.
Number 7 is Joe Hayden with a Lamborghini Aventador. Aaron Donald has a Karma Rivero.
Well, that's an interesting pick.
Yeah.
All electric.
Boogie,
Pat-
woogie, woogie.
Pat O'Donnell, which is a punter for Chicago, has a McLaren 570S.
Oh, shit, we only have
number
like
4.
3 picks left. And I have to pick a kicker, and a coach now.
We should have 6 rounds left to go.
Okay, I guess I have those 3 plus 3 bench. Okay, it was just putting
Yeah.
it in weird. Good. That's better.
Odell Beckham Jr. has a Rolls-Royce Cullinan.
Oh, okay.
Cullinan.
Is that the SUV?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the Bent Yaga.
I mean, he's a big boy, or a tall boy, so.
Number 3 is Antonio Brown with a Rolls-Royce Wraith.
Nice.
Hmm?
Number 2 is Cam Newton with a Ferrari F12 Berlinetta.
I thought Cam would be pretty high on the list. I guess that was good.
And number 1 is Alfred Morris with a Mazda 626.
Yes, that's
That's the one.
That's the car.
That's
Holy
awesome.
Drove that
refurb.
car all through college, and when he became a Redskin, Mazda, did him a favor and like restored the whole fucking thing.
That's awesome. It's like, yep, got my Ford Probe from 1989.
Exactly.
So I guess
But,
Disco, you're not too far off then with your Ford Focus. You're right.
See?
You're right there.
See?
I don't think
Yeah,
Alfred
but
Morris is.
He only spent $2 on that Mazda.
I love how he's like a multimillionaire and Mazda offers to rebuild a car that's worth like 20 grand when it was new. Like what the heck?
Might be a little high, actually, but okay.
I mean, it's cool.
I don't know if it's worth that much.
Depends on which 626 we're talking about.
Well, all we typed in was the coolest. We didn't say the most expensive.
That's true. That's true.
There's some shitty NFL players left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since Brad, we got a new. I don't know. It's not this. It's not like a what should you buy because you phrased it for if you were an NFL player. But we could do a one and done best car of all time. We got some new blood on the line.
Best car of all time?
Well, in your opinion, best car of all time. Boom.
I feel like that's going to require more thought than a quick response.
Yeah, it depends on what the requirements
All
are.
right. Number one poster on your wall as a kid.
959.
That was like a
Testarossa.
Countach, but I wouldn't buy one.
Nope, mine was a
Diablo.
959 every time.
Yeah, well, so far they're all Italian. I like this. Or except
It
for
was,
the
it was
959.
red and shiny. I loved the Testarossa when I was like 7.
I heard Brad had a picture of a Fiero with a large-chested woman up on his wall.
That was in the basement in a Playboy magazine.
The other car that was always on my wall was the Lotus Esprit Turbo.
Nice.
But I got a chance to drive one. Like I almost bought one. There was one like at like Criswell or something in Tyson's Corner, and it was like on sale. And I went to go drive it, and like I couldn't fit in it. Like I got behind the wheel, and I was physically unable to drive it. And literally, like my childhood dreams shattered because it was one of the 2 main poster cars for me. And I was like, I'm in a position. I had just gotten like my first tech job, and it was like sort of the NFL thing. I was like, I could actually own a Lotus Esprit Turbo. And I get in, and I'm like, but I wouldn't be able to drive it, and like everything just crashed. I was like, God damn it!
This is the early Esprit Turbo then. Like,
Yeah, this is the earlier one. I could not
70s
fit
one.
it at all. Yeah, I've
One
been
of
in
my
like
other
the V8
favorites.
one, and I can't fit in that one either very well. Like same thing with the NSX. I don't fit very well in an NSX. Like my knees are too high in the steering wheel. It just doesn't work.
I used to love the 3000 GT because I used to see a red one around my neighborhood all the time, and I thought it was a Ferrari for the longest time. I was like a kid, I didn't know, so I used to love 3000 GT.
Oh, the same thing about Fieros.
I like the V6
Fieros.
Fiero. I thought it was a pretty cool car.
You also have no sleeves right now, Disco, so the Fiero thing is appropriate. I mean,
They got cut off.
exactly. Fitting that stereotype. What about you, Richter?
What was the question again?
A
Best car of all time?
car that was on your wall as a kid, on as a poster.
I didn't give a shit about cars until I think I met Crutch. So I didn't have any on my wall.
So then
We're sorry for that.
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah. So I guess you can substitute in best car of all time. Probably going to say Ford GT.
I had a GT.
The one I really do like is the McLaren P1.
Nice.
It's probably not for the. I mean, it's supposed to be very capable, but I really like the design of it.
Most of those newer McLarens are pretty, like when you see them in person, they're pretty gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like the amount of like they have just the right negative space in the right spots. Like I was at Union Market and there was just one of the lower level ones, like a 560 or something.
It's just a lower level.
Just a lower
Yeah,
level.
it's
like,
a lower level McLaren.
It wasn't a 6. It was like a 5.
$400,000 is just
Yeah.
It's a
But, like,
budget McLaren.
I was riveted to it. I was like, oh my God, this thing is just gorgeous.
All right, Dave, what do you think?
I'm trying to think back. I never had one on my wall. If I had to pick, you're probably.
There wasn't a car as a kid you were like just drool over?
A 350Z I had my eye on.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just rode in Porsche Al's this weekend. I was reinvigorated by how much I like those cars, actually.
Too small.
Yeah.
It is actually, with those seats that he put in there, those OMPs, they're a little tall. It did make the cabin kind of tight even for me, which whatever, but I don't know. I still like the car. I think they're fun. But I guess going with the criteria, since I'm the last one to go, for me, there's only been ever one car that was really up on my wall that I just drooled over constantly, and that is.
I know what it is.
Do you?
Yeah.
The F40.
Yep.
Yeah, I think because my dad was German, I grew up with like the 959 was the pinnacle.
Yeah.
I had F40s and Countachs and stuff like on the walls, but like the 959 was the one that was the noticeable one. And like for attractiveness, the Lotus was the second one. It was the 959 for the two.
Well, the 959 was the F40's rival there for quite a long time. So.
I mean, it was everybody's rival. It became like the Countach's rival too, and then it was like the Diablo's rival as well. Like it just sort of just stayed as like the rival.
All right, so let's pivot this question into another one. What's in your opinion, the best looking car of all time?
Oh, dang.
It doesn't have to necessarily be the best performing car, but just the car that gives you the feels, best looks, best looking car.
Aston Martin's Vulcan.
The Vulcan's pretty sweet looking.
Yeah.
I don't like the way that looks as much. Oh, I got to choose a D and a coach and a kicker.
I still got to go with the Shelby Daytona.
The coupe?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good car.
Seeing when they did the car show out at Greenfield Village, where they had the original GT40s and the Daytonas out there. They had two of them. Seeing those in person, they're so good looking.
Yeah,
So loud.
my list is it's a cross between the 250 GTO Ferrari and the Shelby Daytona because I mean they're very similar shapes.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those really old like Delahis and Bugattis though are just a different caliber, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right? Like I wouldn't want to necessarily drive them, but they are just pure works of art with nothing else behind them.
There's some really good looking Packards too. I mean,
all those. I mean, like the Clive Cussler, I call them cars, right? The stuff that Ralph Lauren always, would have a whole show of nothing but ridiculously gorgeous cars, and some of those were just on a different level of pretty.
I think for me is a CUDA, man. I love those things.
Yes.
Yeah, I give you that. I'd have to say there's a lot of cars on my list that I think are really pretty. The R8, the VW Nardo, the 993 GT2, the original, the first GT2 was a really cool car because of the wide body and everything. And then I have a soft spot for the Alfetta GTs and stuff like the older Alphas and all those cars, like the Lancia Fulvia. I mean, they're nothing special, but as I ramp up the list, and take race cars away, because I mean, if you give me Hans Stuck's ITU Audi, I'm in heaven. But I think, and you take away the F40 and a lot of those other cars that I pined over as a kid, I think there's one car that just still looks good today that will never not look good, and that has to be the Lamborghini Miura. It's just it's a design that just is unstoppable. It's timeless.
That's fair.
I was waiting for somebody to say the Miura.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Miura, but like in that category of just gorgeous, like I think of that. I can't remember the name of the car, but the Bugatti with the sort of bulb at the I can't remember what the name of it is.
Not the EB110.
No, not the no. The one that was like
you mean the Diablo?
The one of all the I can't remember now. I don't know. There's also a difference between like I remember being at the what's it called, the whatever the museum is in Boston, the Museum of Transportation there, and I was there with my dad for like a Ferrari show. We were just looking at everybody's Ferraris, and you name a Ferrari, it was there. It was everybody brought up their best stuff, and then this 90-year-old guy, and I think I told some of you guys the story in person before, drives in a Countach, like a mint Countach, and everything stops. Every conversation, people, pining over this little stitching in their Ferrari, etc. Everything just stops as they just watch this thing rumble down the street to come in, because it just had a different level of presence than anything else. It was just, and the guy who got it, I guess, was somebody who had driven nothing other than Honda Accords for his whole life.
Right.
When he retired at age 68, bought his first Ferrari, and then every 3 years would get rid of that Ferrari and buy a different Ferrari, because he was like, that's what he wanted to do. And he was like, I think maybe 92, 93 years old, I forget. Whatever age he got to, he finally switched and got a Countach. And so he brought it in, and it was one of those, the guy took 5 minutes, no joke, to get out of the car. It was like, the door went up, and he slowly eked his way out of it. I was like maybe 16 at the time, and he ended up letting me get in it and drive it up and turn it around and drive it back down. It was like my one time I've ever driven anything Lamborghini. The guy was like, the jokes he made were awesome. He's like, oh, I wish I had this car 10 years ago. It pulls chicks like nobody's business. And everyone there's like, you were like 83 years old 10 years ago. What the hell are you talking about? Like,
yeah, right.
I just remember the presence though, like in a world of Ferrari. I mean, there was a couple of Testarossas there. There was some of the older stuff there. There was a 512 Scaglietti. I mean, there were some beautiful machines there, but everybody just froze just to see a Countach coming in. We just had a different.
Yeah.
It was back when Lamborghini did nothing but build crazy, weird angles and edges, and it just was like captivating to see. Again, it wasn't beautiful, so it doesn't fit that category, but it was just.
And I think if we stay with sports cars and kind of walk, in my opinion, if we walk backwards from the Lambo that I mentioned, I think another one on that list is the 57 Testarossa, the original one. That's a gorgeous car. We saw one at the Simeone Museum at the beginning of this year, and I hadn't seen one in person in a very long time, and I forgot how striking that car is. It's also huge, which is, for that time period, it's a really, really big car. And I would still say kind of top three is the E-Type Jag Coupe. It's another just beautiful shape. That nose is forever long, but still.
That nose is surprisingly long compared to pictures.
Yeah.
Seeing it in person, that thing is like a mile out the front.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But it works for that car for some reason.
Yes.
I mean, you're sitting on top of the back wheels, but it kind of doesn't matter. It's it's a gorgeous car. So I don't know. I wish the new cars had more panache and more flair and more style like the old ones do, because especially nowadays, you could build a car like those and they'd be a heck of a lot safer. And it wouldn't be about the performance. It'd really be about the look, but hey, whatever.
You gotta do the cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is now.
But, then again, as a kid, I liked the Ford GT90. So, hey, what do I know?
I'm looking through, I decided to Google top 20 best looking cars.
Yeah, what came up on the list?
So some just sort of crappy stuff just based on shape. I mean, some are, so number 20, this is from a British magazine. Number 20 is the 56 BMW 507, which is really neat looking. It's got a bunch of like Triumph lines in it that are just really cool.
Can you post a link in the chat?
How about I just share my screen?
Well, you can do that
too. You've disabled it, so I can't.
Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. Well, while Rob's doing that, did anybody end up with some really seriously terrible players they need to trade?
I got the Saints defense.
I got the Buccaneers. I ended up with Dallas. I don't know. I got a bunch of garbage.
Can you see the cars or no?
Yes.
All right, so there's the 507, which, again, it's got some like Triumph-y lines to it. It's kind of neat.
Or did Triumph copy it from
obviously
BMW?
Must have, based on the year. So the TR250 is...
That's the one I was just... That's the one I was just talking about. Yep.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, whatever.
So it's supposed to be...
I think... So there's some styles of an Aston Martin that I really like. This is not one of them.
Nope.
Some of them are gorgeous. This is spectacular.
I do like the Dino.
I don't know. You got to be in two camps with those cars. You're either a Dino lover or a 308 lover, right?
That's true. I think the Dinos are spectacular looking. That's sex on wheels to me. I love it.
I don't know. The 288 GTO for me
also gorgeous, but I like the Dino better. I like the way the curves flow better.
Yeah.
So GT40 is there. This is a pretty gorgeous car, actually.
God, I hate those cars. The Citroen DS is like an abomination.
But at the time it was built, it was like completely groundbreaking, like obscenely groundbreaking.
That doesn't make it good looking.
It is horrendous. It looks like a frog.
There's the car.
There's a 62 GTO, which is really hard to beat.
You've got one of those on my wall right now.
Which is basically the coupe version of the Testarossa convertible, if you look at it.
I would agree. Yep.
Yeah.
I like it better in a different color, but Type 57 Atlantic is a phenomenal looking car. That's a horrible picture of it, I think, but it's a phenomenal car. There's a 275 GTB, which is a relatively attractive Ferrari.
It's okay.
The original Gullwing is also a gorgeous car.
Yeah, the 300 SL is a really pretty car. They're really small, too, surprisingly small.
Tiny cars. There's another Aston Martin, which is decent. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the Zagato Aston Martin, that is a really pretty car.
It's a gorgeous car. There's the AC Cobra.
Yep.
That's, again, not a great picture of one because they are really pretty
that's
cars.
That's an awful picture of one.
Exactly. Like, it's a beautiful car. That's not one of them.
That one came off Bring a Trailer.
That's spectacular looking.
Yeah, the Alpha 8C, that's a good looking car.
Absolutely gorgeous looking. The original 911s are purposeful.
So wait, before you go on from the 911, I'd be honest with you. I was always a real fan of the 356 Carrera GS, the last 356.
Yep.
I thought those were way prettier than the early 911s. There's just something about the bigger bubble top and the hips that the 356 has versus the early 911s. I like the later 911s, the 80s and the 964s and 993s. But the early, short nose cars, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the short nose ones either. My dad's got a 1980 SC, and I think it's phenomenal looking. Just the way the lines look from the driver's seat are like one of the few cars that's beautiful from the driver's seat. Just the way the hunches go.
The 288 GTO, it doesn't even have to be moving, and it looks like it's doing 200 miles an hour.
Just the way that the little lip at the back works without any real spoilers, and like the sort of boxerish front end is just beautiful too. There's a 250 GTO SWB, which is also a beautiful, again, one of those pure muscle. Like the whole looks like the engine is the size of, Nebraska, and then like a little body.
And there's a Lancia that looks just like the 250 GTO SWB, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper. It's like a early Fulvia or whatever that has the similar lines because they were all copying each other. They're all in cahoots back then anyway.
Now hold on, before you go farther ahead, if you look at the hood, it actually looks like it's flexing its arm.
It does.
Yeah.
That's why I said it looks like pure muscle. Obviously, everybody sort of thinks Miura.
Hey, and look what's at the top of the list. Boom!
Jaguar E-Type, yep.
There's just something about that car. Oh.
Let's see, these are most beautiful cars on sale right now. This is probably a pile of crap.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, okay. I'll take the Julie.
I know
that
you
is a
would,
good-looking car. So,
it's not a bad-looking car. It's just a derivative of like every other type of car like it.
Yeah, I mean, all the Astons look the same since the dude that they brought over from Fisker, I guess it was, that redesigned them. Yeah.
The first one he built, I thought was beautiful. The first Vantage, I think it was a Vantage, was the first one he did, was like out of nowhere amazing looking. I thought like at the time it was the first one. It was before anybody else had done that style.
Yeah, and then they made the Jags look identical, and they're all kind of the same car. And you're like,
the same like Audi's the first take on the A5. When the A5 first came out, it was like, holy crap, you can get a beautiful looking car out of this.
Mm-hmm. The Chiron is okay.
It's not bad. I mean, it's neat looking. Those are also surprisingly similar to the Veyron. Are tiny cars.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's an R8, right? So
yeah, but they feel like they look smaller than that. Even they look small in person. The few times I've seen them. There's your GT.
Yeah, that's
good. The Ford is sexy.
I don't know what that's doing on this list.
Yeah, Infinity paid to get on the list. So is the same with this Lexus.
I do like the Lexus.
What is Mazda 3? What is this?
You like so my problem is just I like the shape of it. I like the way they did the angles. I like the way they did the little R8 homage. I just hate this grille, the weird sort of like
the hourglass.
Yeah, it's the only thing I don't like.
I think the whole car looks really good.
In person, they look pretty neat. Like they definitely catch your eye. Like they don't body. Like, whoa.
They sound amazing too with an exhaust. That 5-liter. Oh,
that was also for a long time in my pantheon of cars was a V8 Aston Vantage, just because I finally heard one in a tunnel, and it's like just amazing sounding. I mean, that thing just sounds ridiculous. Like they knew what they were doing with that.
That's nice.
That's actually, with the way the color hits the black, that's actually a relatively.
But you know what? Car. You know what? Give me that same color scheme, that level of trim, the yellow brakes on a Lincoln Continental, and you had me at hello.
If you can get the suicide door.
And the new Continental is on its way out, by the way.
Yep.
Polestar. No.
I disagree with that.
No, fail. No, I'm sorry. I don't like the Arteon. Although, hey, does it come in shit brown?
What a weird cars.
But no, so Brad, kind of since we're spitballing here, we got some guys on the line. I think we should do a what should I buy? And not right now. We need to do a follow-on episode. What should I buy?
That's beautiful.
Japanese cars, because I don't think we give the Japanese cars enough credit at GTM. We tend to lean really heavy German and American, but I think we need to do a what should I buy on Japanese cars. But that's goofy looking. Like that's an experimental car. They made like all of 3 of those. You know,
it looks like something I'd see in Dick Tracy.
100%. It looks like a cartoon.
Go away.
Wow. What website is that for?
A car I actually really like the look of is the Z8.
Yeah, I was saying that's what I was going to say. Based on that BMW 507, that's where it comes from.
That's a good color on that one.
Yeah,
I like
silver here.
Gray.
Yeah, I like the silver instead of the red almost more on that color.
I agree 100% on that.
Now here's a good one. The 33 Stradale. Oh man, that is a race car right there.
That's pretty neat. It's got just the right and you can tell from the way the lines are, how the whole thing clamshells open.
Yeah.
Like so that's another one. The Lancia 037 Stradale. That's another car that I just love.
See, the Speedster, no.
Because of the chopped windshield, it looks out of proportion.
There's the right color and there's the right angle. This thing is just phenomenal.
Again, a Dick Tracy car or early Batman.
It's a giant penis. It's a giant penis, and it's awesome.
There you go.
Speaking of goofy front ends.
Hey, man. I
still think it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I think it's gorgeous.
But it does. You know what? It doesn't look good in black. It looks good in red. It's just one of those cars.
Yeah, I mean, the photography here is significantly better than the last one.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yes.
And back to the Jag. Look at that thing.
Yep. And then of course you get a nice
a Jag
GT5.
in that gray that you showed on the Ferrari before.
Yeah.
That is an awesome combination.
That going is still gorgeous.
It's
Yeah.
got a big old butt though. That's for sure.
Got a dog.
Most of these do though when you look at them, but yeah, it's gorgeous.
But-
There's a couple. I didn't see any of the old school.
So I got a question. Now that it's been out for a while, what do you guys think of the new Corvette?
Eh.
I think it's like parts of it. Like I think the previous one to this one is better looking. I think.
The
I know, and I
C7?
realize that,
Yeah.
and I'm in the minority. I feel like on that opinion, but having seen the new one, it just looks like it's trying to copy 6 other types of sort of high level cars. Whereas the one before, it looked like they were trying to do a Corvette, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not normally a Corvette guy per se, but the previous one, I was like, I would like one of those previous Stingrays. The first time I saw one, I'm like, I would drive one of those. That looks awesome. And the new one, and I was like, well, I drive the previous one. I'd be happier with it. The appearance of it. That's just me.
Dave, you're a Chevy guy. What do you think of the new Corvette? You gonna trade in your ZL1 for that?
No, I was actually going to put a down payment or a deposit on the Z06, but I got to wait to see what it's going to look like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mid-engine Z06, huh? I don't know.
It's supposed to be coming out in 21, so next year, right? So,
Yeah. They gonna fix the hood problem?
No, who knows, man, what they're going to do. I'm not sold on it either, but I don't know. I'm getting bored.
What, with the Corvette?
No, with my Z01, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't want to get the new one, so I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Interesting.
No clue.
Look at that.
What the hell is that?
That's a Delahaye.
1936 Delahaye. That is just phenomenal.
Hand-built, that car is.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I tried to find a picture, and the pictures didn't give me a picture. It just gave me this video instead of this.
You don't
Yeah.
drive that at night, that's for sure.
Well, you also don't drive in the snow because the wheel wells will pack full of it, and then
Yeah,
you'll just
right.
go straight.
Look, I mean, the back, that's just beautiful.
That's like the Penguin's car from Batman.
It
That's
is, but
what
like the lines are just amazing.
It looks like a Harley with saddlebags. You know? If you look at the rear.
Look at that
rear
interior,
fenders.
though. That's really
Look at
cool.
Think of
that
a
is
Harley with saddlebags.
sexy. Look at that. Talk about flexing. I mean, that's just like.
Hey,
woo.
Rob, have you ever driven anything that old? Like back from the 30s?
Not in memory. I have not.
Oh, okay. I've driven a couple. The most recent one, I got a chance to drive a 37 Packard, and I tell you what, it was an experience. Because the mechanics of driving are the same as driving a modern car. The problem is that, the steering wheel is like 4 feet around, and it's like everything's awkward because the suspension is just like gross. And,
Yep.
and I don't mean gross as in disgusting. I mean, it's like gross motor movements, like big swings rather than like fine adjustment that we're used to and, all that kind of thing. So it's a little awkward, but, it was interesting. They're very soft, they're very comfortable, very luxurious. I see the appeal.
I've had a chance to, yeah. I'd love to, but I've driven like a 1950s bus, but that's about it.
Greyhound or...
No, it was like
International?
a 25 passenger thing. I think it was international, if I remember correctly. It was one of those things that like UMass had. I drove UMass Transit when I was in school, and so like we got our bus driver's license, and they had like a couple old ones they used for ceremonial crap or to drive professors for a convocation or whatever. And I got to drive one of them. It was like the thing that was sort of in the garage at all times. I got to drive one of those shifts. I think it was the mid 50s.
I think that is the weirdest internship I have ever heard, Rob.
It was an internship. No, it was the highest paying job on campus for underclassmen. So all of Western Mass. So there's 5 colleges out there. So you have like Holyoke, Hampshire, UMass, Amherst College, and then what's the last one? The all women's school. I can't remember the name of it. But that whole 5 college area and all of sort of Pioneer Valley, as they call it. So the PVTA, Pioneer Valley Transit Authority for all of Western Mass, was owned by the same guy who owns, was it Peter Pan? And it was stationed out of UMass Amherst. And so highest thing, so like I went to school in whatever year that was, like 96, let's say I was in college, and it was like $19 an hour to drive buses. They paid for you to get your license. And after I got a license, I became a trainer, which paid like $22 an hour. And you could drive like 7 or 8 hour shifts. And so you made serious money for a college kid. I mean, it was like by far the highest paying job on campus. And if you wanted to make more money, every so often the guy who ran, like they wouldn't have a driver would call in sick for like the Peter Pan bus lines down to, I think it was Peter Pan. down to like New York City and sort of back up to Worcester and Springfield and everything. And so they'd call the shop and they'd be like, hey, anybody there free for the next 6 hours and want to make, like $1,000? And we'd be like, oh, we'll do it. So we would drive the actual like Peter Pan bus line buses with like have to make regular tourist stops and stuff. Cause we're licensed for them all. We all had CDLs and we had spent our whole time driving buses of that size. So it was a pretty sweet job actually, in terms of like the cool we did you'd love this stuff. We used to do bus rodeos, which was like ridiculous slalom courses and like obstacle courses and things you had to like work on like 3-point turns on stuff. And the guys who were good were like legit, because the first time as a bus driver, you'd try to do a bus driver rodeo course, you'd hit every cone. Like you'd be like trying to do a slalom and you'd be like, this thing doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. And you get somebody who knew what they were doing, it'd be like, and they just whip through it. And you're like, how did you make it fit? This doesn't make sense. But it was super fun. But yeah, paid lots of money. That's the only reason I did it, because it paid a lot of money.
Apparently, we need a story time with Rob episode, because holy cow. He's autocrossing buses. I mean, all sorts of stuff. Holy smokes. Woo.
Yeah, setting up those courses was weird. And then we would do like the way, when I was a trainer, the way we'd kill people, like, so all the buses we drove normally were automatics, but everybody had to learn on the full manual transmission, full double clutch, old school buses. And so you'd get these like freshman kids who were coming in, like, 5'2" women who were like, oh, best paying job on campus, I'll try. And you'd put them in this big ass school bus with, teaching them, they'd never driven stick before, and try to teach them how to double clutch. And like by day 3, you'd have them on like some hill in the middle of like the athletes part of campus, where they're trying to like go up a hill and not stall it, and you'd make them stop every like 10 feet, so they have to start again on a hill just so they were comfortable, and just getting laughed at by all the students. It was awesome, the kind of crap we did.
So were these front engine buses or rear engine?
Yep,
I'm just curious.
A little bit of both. So
okay.
The school buses were all front engine. The tour buses are all rear engine. They all have the engine underneath the rear seat, like when you go to the airport and stuff, those kind of shuttles and things. But all the school buses were front engine, and we had like a bunch of like really ancient school buses, and then we had like 2 really nice, like the ones that they used for official campus functions that had like beautiful colors on the side, were perfectly maintained. And those were automatics, but they were they're really nice school buses. They drove really well. And then we had like this old, what year was it? Might have been a 60s. It wasn't the old 50s one. We had like a 60s, we called the bug eye. So it had like, the front was these 2 sort of bulbous windows. It was this really old school bus. And we'd all like fight over the chances to take it on shifts. And so like we'd be yelling at the dispatch guys were all career, worked for the transit authority, but they were stationed on the campus. So they were used to their drivers changing out every year, basically. And the main guy was this guy, Glenn, who just retired. We'd all be like, Glenn, can we take the bubble bus? Like, you'd be like, oh, I have a shift. It's 5:30 in the morning. Let me take the bubble bus, because it's like a little shorter, but it was this ancient thing. And like, it shifted beautifully. It was, to your point, it was like an old bus, but like the mechanics were awesome on it. It was actually fun to drive.
Rob's college adventures are very different than the rest of ours.
we did silly stuff. We drove buses. I played ultimate frisbee, so I remember I had to fix. We talked about this on the podcast thing. I had to fix somebody's like Saab 900 with like duct tape and bubble gum. We fix shift linkages and such. That's what we did.
It's different up there in the colder states.
That it is.
Oh well, gentlemen, do we have anything we want to talk about football related? No.
Everybody hates their draft that has texted me.
Yeah, pretty much. I wonder if people are going to do DraftKings on top of all this.
A couple of the guys I worked with did DraftKings, and we did 3 to 4 leagues a year. Yeah. And so we kind of figured we knew what we were doing. You get on DraftKings and you realize very quickly that you don't know shit. And you get destroyed. So it's DraftKings, if you're playing like against your buddies, because you can set up the private ones to just play against each other, cool, because then you play a couple bucks here and there. Or if you get really lucky, but no, that's for like people that actually crunch numbers and get into the whole analytics of everything to do.
So I play in enough dynasty leagues that I follow a few of those types of guys, the pure analytics number crunchers, and like they come up with like this, they're like statisticians in real life, and so they come up with these elaborate formulas on how to grade players, and a lot of them get, like, one of the guys who I follow pretty well, this guy Drew Lasinachuk or something from Canada, Like he has this whole process where like before somebody gets drafted, he has like an 80% hit rate for how productive they'll be as an NFL player. Like a full like all just using metrics of like the breakout age, the age at which they first got over 20% target share, the yards per target given what conference they're in and how tough the defenses are in that particular college conference, etc. Just these super elaborate formulas. And so I use a lot of his stuff for all my dynasty type drafts because like for this kind of thing, it's more of like who's going to do well this year. But in dynasty, you're like, I need to know for the next 10 years if this guy's going to be a productive or is going to be, Kelvin Benjamin who has 1,000-yard season is out of the league in 2 years. But it's super fun in doing like rookie drafts because you'll see people like, oh, I'm really high on this guy. And he's like, yep, he'll fail in a year. And the guy will do well and then he'll fail afterwards. Everyone's like, how did you know that? And he's like, because the numbers, man, like the numbers showed he was destined to fail because he couldn't do it. Like it's somebody who like he couldn't beat out a subpar NFL guy in college. Why do you think he'd suddenly be better in the NFL?
That's crazy. Yep. So what I'm understanding now is if we put Rob in charge of our fantasy league, we would be totally hosed.
If we were actually playing for money, it would just be for him to bankroll.
Yeah, right.
That would possibly be correct.
For the nerd that's sitting in the corner having to key punch all this stuff all the time.
There's like 8 guys and they all love it. They live for this. Like
wow.
Like I mean, I have access to this stuff, but I look at it relatively quickly. Like I'll scan through and get an idea of something and be like, okay, and I walk away from it. I don't care. So to your point earlier, like those DraftKings league, like I could hold my own and come in like 5th in most of those because anybody who doesn't do the amount of research I do would be lower, but the people who actually live this stuff would be all above me and beat the crap out of me.
Dang.
It's the same with anything though. Like you were talking about, if I ran this, I'd own this. A bunch of the dads from my kids' school always want to have game nights. And so they're always like, oh, we should play, just poker hold'em tournaments. And I'm like, I used to play a lot of that. If you really want to, I'll play. Like, I'm always like, oh, can we play something else? Like, no, we're going to play. And I've yet to not win. Like we played like 8 times and I'm literally like, you're all just paying me to hang out with you now. This is getting silly. Can we play a different game? Like, no, we're going to beat you. I'm like, okay, I'll make another $150 tonight. Sounds good. It's just like a $20 buy-in. I just destroy them all every time.
Yeah, that's a set of tires and brakes on the Miata right there. So you're good to go.
The one league I was in at my last shop was actually it was $100 per person. I think there was 14 teams, but we did the first week. Whoever had the highest scoring quarterback got $20. And then you went down the list. So basically, almost every week, somebody else had a random chance of making $20. The first year, I finished I changed my team name to Team Injury Prone because I had 6 players go down with season-ending injuries. Mm-hmm. But I ended up making, I think, almost all of my money back from having Travis Kelce and one of my running back or my kicker, and then my wide receiver hit or my quarterback hit. And so I ended up making all my money back. Well, then the next year, I ended up finishing 3rd, and then I finished in 1st place, plus I ended up making $600 the last year I did it. Yep. So, I mean, it's not bad, but you also got to play with people that have the same kind of concept or knowledge and know not to get in over your head because otherwise you're screwed.
Yeah, exactly. But we still, it's good that we do it for fun, and there's still a trophy at the end of the season. It's part of awards night. So, you get the recognition, and, tradition is a good thing. So, I don't know. Every year we add something different. I like the fact that, Bowser kind of went in and redid some of the rules for us, and I think it's been better than it was in the early days. So, I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. I'm really curious to see how my AI drafted for me, to see if I end up with a better team this year than I have in previous years.
This year's a crapshoot because any positive COVID test means Saquon could be out for half the season. So could Mahomes. You may end up with weird 3rd-string quarterback starting by week 3 for 5 weeks.
Yes.
Who took Alex Smith? Did anybody take Alex Smith?
No, because we never got that low.
No, he's not. Yeah.
I did end up with Saquon though.
Well,
I don't even think I would.
I'm almost wondering if we have to make the roster bigger, what we can have sitting on the bench.
Yeah, we can.
If we're able to do that mid-season even.
Let me look.
We got to do
we
that.
can have a COVID slot where everyone the IR.
Well, that's the thing. Is ESPN going to make it so if your guy's out because of COVID, like you get a free replacement or something like that, so you don't have to lose a
So,
guy.
so that's a setting, right? So all my leagues, we changed the settings to add like, I think it's 4 or 5 COVID IR spots. And so the idea is that we didn't add more bench spots. We basically said if they're on COVID IR, you could still move them to IR, made that bigger, and then you could just pick off a waiver wire whoever you wanted. And then the only rule is that you have to sort of watch it so that when your guy goes off IR, let's say there's 2 negative tests and he comes back, you have to make space for him on your team somehow, which you would anyways because you're going to want to start your guy. That's why you're keeping him around.
Yeah, you're pretty much going to drop whoever you picked up.
But that's usually the trick. So Eric is probably looking right now. You can go into settings, I think, and you can add IR slots. And if you add enough of those, that's the same effect.
Says, I'm trying to see if I can change it.
My only player that I would not want to drop is Pat Mahomes. And maybe Zach Ertz.
Do you even know anybody else that you drafted other than those two?
No.
Deshaun Jackson.
So, Rob, we have a 7 deep on the bench, but I can't. And injured reserve is 0, but it doesn't give me an option to change it right now. And I don't know
because we've already drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even usually after draft, you can usually change the number of IR.
I mean, if anybody's familiar with how ESPN works.
Yeah, I do a bunch of stuff on MFL as they call it, but not ESPN. This is the only league I still do on ESPN, which is fine because it's an easier to use interface for what they call draft leagues. But
hey, boys, I got to roll out. This is a good discussion. Thanks for the draft.
Absolutely.
And good luck.
Absolutely.
Good luck. We'll see you in the winner's circle.
Hey, Brad, Rob, fellas, take it easy.
All right. See you guys.
Gentlemen. Thank you so much. We'll see how the season goes.
Have a good one.
All right, y'all.
You too.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
X.
If you like what you've heard and want to learn more about GTM, be sure to check us out on www.gtmotorsports.org. You can also find us on Instagram at Grand Touring Motorsports. Also, if you want to get involved or have suggestions for future shows, you can call or text us at 202-630-1770 or send us an email at crewchief@gtmotorsports.org. We'd love to hear from you.
Hey listeners, Crew Chief Eric here. Do you like what you've seen, heard, and read from GTM? Great, so do we, and we have a lot of fun doing it. But please remember, we're fueled by volunteers and remain a no annual fee organization. But we still need help to keep the momentum going so that we can continue to record, write, edit, and broadcast all of your favorite content. So be sure to visit www.patreon.com/GT Motorsports or visit our website and click in the top right corner on the support and donate to learn how you can help.